Welcome to the Emo Social Club podcast, broadcasting to you at Subterranean in Chicago, our home away from home. I am Brian.
And I'm Lizzie, and we're here in person with Pennyboard. And you guys have heard us talk with them a little bit ago, but now we're in person meeting for the first time.
Hi. So happy to be here.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, I'm an alternative pop artist from Dallas, Texas, and we're on our first tour right now. So, yeah.
On a Halloween show.
Yeah. Good old Halloween show. Like, all these have been Halloween shows. It's been pretty fun. So,
I mean, I guess if it's an emo show, it's kind of always a Halloween show.
Right. Yeah.
Not that it's supposed to be, but just, you know.
It just works out.
Yeah. Obviously, for the video version of this, we're in costumes. So when they listen to this in the middle of November, it'll be like...
You'll be like, hey, what's going on here?
Is this what you guys normally do?
I mean, honestly, at this point.
A little bit.
Right.
So this tour, how many days have you been out on it?
Oh. Four or five.
Yeah.
It's like a blur now. It's literally only a week-long tour, but like all the days have blended together.
Yeah.
So.
So I know that like you've been here in Chicago from Texas, so you're coming, I'm assuming north. This is my geography lesson that I'm learning right now. So
wow,
you drove
crazy.
Straight up from Texas all the way to Chicago.
Yeah.
Where are your next few stops?
We got Nashville tomorrow, and then we're heading home. So pretty quick run.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now, I know it's not over yet, but do you have any ideas for any future plans for touring, especially in the new year?
I want to. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see how things play out. Definitely want to. I definitely want to hit the East Coast, though. Like, that's like my next goal, East Coast tour. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine going out in October, November, December, being from Texas, being from the South. It's like, cool, let's just go to all the snowiest, coldest,
Right. It's so cold
rainiest.
here.
Yeah.
When we left, wasn't like this. Like,
It wasn't like this.
I don't know. Texas is just like, it's just hot most of the time, or it's just raining. So
It rains?
Yeah. Yeah.
It rains
I mean,
there?
for a while it wasn't, but
Yeah.
now it rains constantly. So.
I guess I've only been in like the north of Texas, in the little square at the top, the little top hat to the state, which is just desert, and then that giant cross as you drive through.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus, that's a big cross. And I felt real funny about that. So
I haven't been in that area too much, surprisingly.
I mean, I wouldn't recommend it.
I was about to say, being in Texas, like, do you like road trip across? But I also know it's so big that it's like forever to get from one point to the other in Texas.
Yeah, it's still like, honestly, it's kind of weird. My hometown is only an hour and a half away, but I feel like I have to like really plan to like make a trip there. But so we're like technically in Denton, which is right outside of Dallas, but it also will usually take an hour and a half to drive to Dallas because of traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just go like on a whim, like no planning, nothing. But leaving like that area, it's just like there has to be planning involved. So
Yeah. I mean, I guess like we only really have Chicago here once we go to the suburbs. And then you're like, all right, I'm going to the suburbs. So see you in a couple days.
right.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, like touring too, like if you're planning a show or you're planning like do a tour, I guess you could do like the Texas areas and hit
For
up all
sure.
the major cities, but you're still like doing kind of a tour.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if many people are driving from say like another major city to your city, or they're driving like to the next biggest city.
Right.
It's like you can kind of hit up all those cities, and it's like, yeah, I'll come over.
Yeah. Honestly, I would love to do like a little weekend run. You're from Victoria. Where is that like close to?
I'm from Victoria, Texas, and that's a 6-hour drive, and it's still Texas.
Yeah.
Like from where I'm
God.
from, like from Denton to Victoria. But what else? What did you say? Oh, Victoria. It's not really close to anything. There's like it's 2.5 hours south from Houston, San Antonio, and Austin, and 2 hours north of Corpus. So there's like nothing.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I was about to say, down there you do get more of the wild, wild west than anywhere here. We just have a lot of corn, and then you're like, oh man, give me back to civilization, and then you drive like an hour, and you're like, all right, cool, I'm good now.
Yeah.
We do have hurricanes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you
Down
do
there.
get
Down
that.
there,
Yeah,
That's true.
we get
Last-
tornadoes sometimes.
So now that's
The
terrifying.
corn hurricane.
Corn
the
hurricane?
corn hurricane.
No.
I will say, the last tornado that hit, it actually hit the town I live in, and I was like, oh, it missed me by like 1 mile.
I'm just seeing husks.
Yeah.
Husks everywhere.
Yeah. Just like kernels. And like if it gets warm, it just like starts popcorn in the sky.
And then it's like, wow, am I really terrified now of just popcorn? Now you
Look.
just have a snack.
I'm not gonna lie, that'd be tight as hell if I
Be
saw a
tight
popcorn
as
tornado.
hell.
Hurricane Harvey hit down there.
Yeah.
I was still living there at the time, but when it was done, like raining and everything, the water was up to our knees, and there was somebody that would, I guess, use the opportunity, and they would canoe down the road.
Yeah.
And that's how they were getting around.
I mean, you gotta be innovative.
Yeah.
So how has innovation helped you with a lot of your music and with your
I hate it when she
project
does
as well?
transitions like this. I hate it when she does transitions like that.
I love that. That was great. I mean, I'm like super DIY, like almost as DIY as it gets. But I'm pretty proud of it. I mean, I feel like I like say this a lot, but I also, a lot of people like don't realize that like this is so new to me. I've never been in another band before, so I'm just like figuring it out as I go. Yeah, it's just been like a huge learning experience, but it's been really fun. Yeah, especially on this tour, I've learned so much. I thought I was like, I had it figured out, planned, and every single day I'm like, okay, let's just see what happens. So
How has it been like, because obviously as your first band, but you have been doing a lot of music on TikTok, and your work on the internet has been noticed and acknowledged, and it's good. So, you know, there's a reason for that. How has that like kind of transitioned into now being on tour and being in a band and being a live musician?
They're so different from each other. It's so easy for me to just like film a TikTok and post it. I feel like I've talked to so many other musicians. They're like, I don't like being on TikTok. And I'm like, I don't like being in front of an audience. But like, honestly, if anyone has like tips we could share with each other, that would be awesome. Cause my stage fright is like through the roof, but love TikTok. I could post on there all day long. So
Now, here's the thing. So I also don't like being in front of the camera or anything like that. But yet here we are also in front of the camera and many cameras. So what are some ways that you have tried to like combat just like being in front of people, especially like on this first tour and being like, oh man, like there's X amount of people here. How do I like handle this without like flipping out?
Honestly, I feel like I just have to do like a lot of grounding beforehand. And then, I'm pretty much an open book with everyone. Like I struggle with anxiety. It's, you know, it's normal, and I think it's okay to be open about it. So, honestly, sometimes on stage I'll just be like, hey guys, I'm really nervous. Let's just have a chill night, you know, like, and just try to like have fun with it. And then I've also kind of recently just told myself like, stop worrying about like literally what everyone else thinks. Like it doesn't matter. Like you're doing this for you. So like I just need to have fun with it. So yeah.
I'm saying that about like, I don't understand TikTok. Don't really have a lot of interest in being on it personally.
Fair.
I look at Reels a lot. I've been just like, you know, scrolling Instagram and it just like comes up. It's probably because I'm an old buffoon and I'm on Instagram.
Old buffoon.
I know. Well, look, like Facebook has Reels too, and I got caught up in that, and I'm like,
Oh,
no, this
no.
is
It's
wrong.
okay.
This
I've
is
fallen
wrong.
down that trap.
The
Yeah.
boomerification of Brian.
Dude, I gotta stay out of that. But like, I think to myself like, oh, I could do that, and then I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. So like, there's this like nervousness, and maybe it's just because I'm older, or because I don't know, whatever it is. But like, I'm like, I don't really want to create content that way. But I'm also like, I know I kind of have to, and I have to like learn that skill. But there is like that, like, yeah, that nervousness in like the same way of like, I don't know how to create on this platform in that way for these people. And I'm so worried of like, I mean, for me, I'm so worried about what these kids are going to say.
Yeah, they do not hold back. I'll tell you that. I've filtered my comments before, been like, I think it's totally okay. Like, you know, a lot of people will be like, oh, don't like delete your comments or anything like that. Like you're just like letting them win. And I'm like, for the sake of my mental health,
Yeah.
I'm going to approve comments. So
It's still your profile.
yeah. Yeah. You should be able to curate your social media to what
Yeah.
fits best for you. But, yeah.
I know what you mean about the whole like being nervous or not being nervous on stage versus that on like TikTok or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to do like the same thing of like, I don't even really know TikTok. You know what I mean? But I gotta start making like TikTok stuff, and I'm like, I really don't want to, but I have to. But when it comes to like performing, I can play in front of a bunch of people, and it's totally cool with me.
Yep.
Like, luckily there's no nerves with that. But social media wise, I'm just like, and it's like just a phone too, really,
Right.
when you think about it.
You're talking
But-
to one person and it's their phone.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's when I get really nervous. So
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about.
I think it's just like because there's so many people online, and because a lot of them can be anon for the most part, then you're like, oh man, I thought I did really good at whatever your TikTok, whatever you made was, but then you see like that one comment that comes out, and you're just like, oh, I don't
Well,
like
that
that.
broke my entire
Yeah.
career.
Right.
See you later.
Especially if somebody is like, I mean, we obviously see it online. We see people just bullying people just because of what they look like too, and all these other negative things. And I know that that diverts a lot of people. That diverted a lot of like really popular creators too on TikTok specifically from like being on the app for a while. Even though a lot of that is kind of like how they make income now too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So like technically, I'm like a solo artist, but like I love my live band. Like I honestly couldn't do a lot of it without them. So I've slowly started like incorporating them into like my TikToks and things like that. And I don't know. I feel like at practice, I'm just like, okay, we're gonna walk through this step by step. But it's really fun, and I think they're getting into it. Yeah.
Also, like when you're playing a show, and if say you sucked at it, I don't think anyone's really just going to come up to you and say the harshest thing to your face.
Right.
So that's kind of why maybe it's scarier, like on TikTok, because they're going to say whatever the hell they
Oh
want.
yeah.
I guess. I think the instant like gratification of being in front of an audience and playing the song and like having people either vibe with it, feel it, or just stand there kind of like how I'm standing now with my arms crossed and just being like,
The old punk
yeah,
way.
all right. That is obviously like a very easy like interaction and transaction between the person on the stage and the person in the audience. And I think on the internet it's like much harder when you know that somebody is just like at home just like this with their arms crossed like, yeah, I don't really care about that, and you don't get that. I don't know, there's like I think my fear is more not being seen than being seen and being like shit on. I guess like I'm like, oh, at least you saw it and you had like a terrible comment to say to me.
Right. You're like, I don't know. I close my eyes when I perform. Y'all are gonna notice that. Like, I just don't want to like see anyone's reaction. Like, nope. I'm gonna get used to it one day. It's only been like a year of performing for me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But
You did because you did the Emo Night LA out in Texas, right?
Yeah. That was my first show ever. But looking back on those videos, I'm like, wow. Like, I'm like moving around now. I've kind of learned like, you know, what works best for me. Things like that.
It takes time. I can't say that without sounding like an old man, but it just takes time.
It does. As somebody who has always been like very self-conscious in general, like every time now that like either we have photos taken of us or we have video of us, I'm like, I can't control it, and whatever at this point, that's fine. It happens, and you just kind of go on with it. And I think also, I learned this when I had to do some grad classes online during COVID because I had a terrible time with that. Because I already don't like being in large crowds and like classrooms. So, and I had like 25 kids in my online class, and I said, that's way too many people. I don't like this. And I could see them all. And I remember talking with another professor, and they're like, oh, you can just like have it where it's just the instructor talking. And like, that's it. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's what I need. And I feel like it's just like that. It's like you just focus on like one person or like one specific thing. It's like when you're doing yoga and you're trying to balance on something. And if you just look at something, you're going to hold that pose a lot longer. And then if you move away or you move around too long, then you like fall out of it.
Yeah. It's all in here. Like you just got to tell yourself it's going to be okay. So.
Let's say you were playing a song and the entire audience, you had your eyes closed, you're performing, and the entire audience, when you open them, is just moshing and just jumping up and down. Like how would that feel?
Like Brian has his witch hat off and he's just going off.
Well, at So What, I feel like I wasn't like paying attention to like what the crowd was doing most of the time. And then I watched back videos and I was like, wait, people were into this. Like, that's so sick. I don't know. One day I'll get better at it, you know, but it takes time.
It happened when we were in Topeka 2 days ago. I didn't even know how many people were in the room. And I was playing, and I just happened to look, and I was like, whoa.
Like a wall of people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Yeah.
And then seeing that, like, just, like, gave me, like, a shot of adrenaline, really. And then I was just, like, going harder.
Yep. It's weird how, I mean, it's weird how, like, that back and forth just makes everything just go harder. And, like, the energy just gets up, and it, like, becomes, like, that moment there. So, yeah, I think that's what happens, I guess. I forgot you played So What, too, and then it just reminded me, like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all this Texas stuff that we, like, keep seeing, and we're just like, man, okay, well, we have one fest, and then we see you back in the summer.
And then, yeah.
At So What, it was so hot because, like, we were there the whole weekend. I drank at least, like, more than 30 bottles of water that whole weekend. And I had this, like, huge hat on that I never even looked up because I didn't want to get sunburned. So I was just like this everywhere I was walking, and, like, the hat was covering everything because I was not going to get sunburned.
That's very
So it was
fair.
fun.
Yeah. You also just put out a new song
Did.
with other friend of the pod, CRLO.
Yeah.
So let's promote this a little bit. Tell people about the song and the collaboration and where this is what it is.
Well, I had this idea like a year ago. I went into a session and I was like, I want to write a song about like setting boundaries and just about how like people will try to come and go or like, you know, they'll hurt you and just like act like nothing happened. And that's just like something that I've really had to like, you know, grasp the concept of like, you got to like set boundaries with people. So yeah, I decided to like write a song about it. And then the song just was kind of there in my demos for a hot minute. And then I connected with CRLO and we were like, we should write a song together. And then a week later, like as we were going to like start writing, I was like, wait, I have this other song like ready to go. Like, I think you would be perfect on it. And so he ended up like, you know, writing a verse for it and everything. And it was great. Like, honestly, it was super fun. We just clicked and it's been really cool. Yeah.
Now, I know there's always a joke on Twitter where it's like, when are the DIY Twitter bands all just going to go on one big fest, like of either fest or like a show tour one together? And I feel like Pennyboard, CRLO, In the Morning. I know Loveless is blown up especially since we last talked to them too.
Unbelievable.
But, you know, when can this maybe happen finally and make all of the Twitter DIY besties dreams come true?
It needs to happen. I don't know. Whoever wants to like take charge of that, go for it. Because it would be super fun. Whenever I went out to LA, I got to meet like a lot of people for the first time, and that was really cool. And then like today, I'm just meeting so many people that I've only talked to on Twitter. So yeah, I feel like it needs to happen. Or, you know, if anyone wants to come do a Texas run, like. We're there.
Let's send out a Calendly link and just get everybody
Like
to
everyone
put in their
to put in
availability.
what you don't have
Yeah.
booked up yet, and let's go.
It's funny to me that like, and this is kind of going back to like all these artists on TikTok too, like Loveless and you and CRLO, because it's like the open verse type thing, and I'm like, wow, everybody's literally just collaborating. So the idea of like actually then putting out one of those songs, I was like, oh yeah, finally, like let's get more of these like songwriters writing the song, putting out the open verse, and then like having your friends do an open verse on it, and then being like, yeah, let's just put that out, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it just makes so much sense.
Writing with friends is so fun. It just makes it even more fun. I don't know. I love it. I'm open to like doing so many more collabs in the future. So.
Is there anyone you have in mind? Let's just shout it out right now so that we can just
Put it
like
up
make
into
it happen.
to the atmosphere.
I
Yeah.
want to work with In the Morning one day. I just absolutely adore them. So sweet.
Yeah. You guys keep coming through Subterranean. We'll keep seeing you here, and then we can, you know, just make all these collabs happen.
Yeah.
Seems like I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone's been so nice. I'm like, I can't imagine anyone's like, it's a scheduling conflict.
Right.
We just have
Yeah.
to figure that out. And that's where the Calendly link comes in.
The Calendly link.
Look, my job is scheduling. I do work in calendars all day. And so I'm almost like, hey, if it's a scheduling issue, I got this.
You're a pro.
We can
Wow.
handle this. I can get you guys in a room together.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I hope that happens. We'll send this. We'll send this immediately to Amanda.
Well, yeah, we'll cut it up and we'll post it on TikTok. Be like, hey, everyone, get together right now in the comments. Let's figure this out.
Put your availability in the comments. Don't do that. Please don't anyone put your
Don't do that,
availability.
because I feel like you would get doxxed in like the weirdest fucking way,
Yeah.
and that's the last thing we want for anybody.
I may not know where you are, but I'll know what days that I won't be able to find you.
Yeah.
So now you're on obviously this show tonight, and you have this new song. Are you playing it tonight?
We are. Yeah, it's honestly, we'll see how it goes. But like they're great. I just get so nervous. Like here I am. I'm just being an open book. I get so nervous singing his part. I'm like, am I doing this okay? Like, you know.
How would CRLO feel if he were here right now?
Right? Like, yeah.
You'd always just FaceTime and be like, hey, bestie.
Right.
Can you do this
FaceTime
real
you
quick?
in for this line every night.
If anyone wants to jump up there and sing it, go for it. But yeah, we're gonna play it. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. It's really fun to play.
It's a rager.
Yeah.
It's a pop punk rager. You know. Both of you have the energy behind you in the song. So yeah. Just like pop punk rager coming together.
It was so funny, just like sending each other demos, just like back and forth. Like, let me know what you think of this. Like, it was cool.
You're also doing covers on tonight's show, since it's a Halloween show.
Yeah.
What? I mean, this is going to come out after the show. Obviously, we're currently at the show, and this will be edited. So this is not going to be a spoiler alert for anyone who's listening to this. So what covers are you going to be playing tonight?
We're playing Kesha.
Yes.
We Are Who We Are.
Yep.
I wanted that song because it's just like so fun, and I was like, I need like a really simple cover, but it's so high energy. So like, I don't know, it's fun. I love it, and I kind of want to just keep it in our set list forever.
Yep.
But we'll see. The other one is going to be Dirty Little Secret by All American Rejects. They were like one of the first bands I really fell in love with when I got into music as a kid, and yeah, I just like covering it. It's fun.
That's, I believe, our very first cover from like a year ago, and then we will play it for a little while, and then get it out, and then we'll sprinkle it back in. Like it's like a seasonal song, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a seasonal song.
It's a seasonal cover for us.
My emo cover band said, "Yeah, I think we're going to cut Dirty Little Secret," and I'm like, "You
Bad move.
guys are dumb. You guys are idiots."
Bad move.
It's like, well, it's just like everybody's playing that. I'm like, you know why everyone's playing it?
Because it goes.
Because the
So
song
good.
rules.
Yeah.
And everybody knows it, and everybody has a great time listening to it. So
I will say there's been a lot of regret, at least a little bit on me, after seeing the Avril set of when we were young. And I'm like, wow, the sound was not great. And then I'm like, I should have just gone to the All American Rejects because they were playing at the same time.
Oh my gosh,
It was very upsetting.
Yeah.
I did panic.
it was fine, you know. You have to just accept. I think that if anything comes out of that is like, I hope that all these bands continue to tour, come through all the cities, so that like everybody's like, oh, I didn't get to see All American Rejects when we were young. Now I get to go and watch them at a venue near us.
Yeah, somewhere.
I saw All American Rejects at a casino.
Oh my
that
God.
was interesting. It was really fun, but I was like, not the place I expected to see them. So
Was it at a venue in a casino or
Yeah.
just okay?
Oh,
Good.
okay.
but
That's still that's
Yeah.
really not a place.
Not just
That's-
in the middle of a
That's
casino.
like like venue casinos, like at least out here in like the Illinois and Indiana area, is like where you go when you are like you can't sell out anymore, like big venues, but
What do you
you're
mean?
still a little bit prominent.
What do you
but
mean?
you're also like an old band.
What do you mean? We did one in Iowa one time, and
That's
it was
Iowa,
a
though.
great time. I know. It was like, okay, that was the first time that I had to experience like a bunch of emos in a casino.
Oh, no.
Like all like dressed up in like emo attire and going like nostalgia core inside of like an Iowa casino.
That's
and
so
then
wild.
Vegas, I'm like, oh, I've been
See,
here before.
I feel like everyone at that show was just like, it didn't really seem like the crowd I expected, but it was fun.
No, you're good.
I would say we can make like a new venue that's not a casino, but like looks like a casino, and just call it the emo casino.
The emo casino. God.
All right.
The Megamind idea is here, everyone. All right, investors.
Yeah.
Who's a rich emo kid?
That's a damn fine question. I feel like
honestly.
there's enough creativity here, you know. There's enough creativity to make things happen, to work with other artists. All we need is money and a calendar.
Right.
Well, we know that the show is about to happen in a little bit. So before we wrap this up and you go and rip a set, why don't you tell us like where everybody can find you on the internet? Where they obviously they're probably going to miss this next show that you're doing tomorrow, and then you're going to be back home. But when the next tour is announced, we know it'll happen.
Yeah.
Where can they find you on the internet to know where it's gonna be?
You can find us on everything. It's at Pennyboard Band. Everything's the same. So, but for anyone in Dallas, we're opening for Glimmers
Oh,
on November 26th.
another friend of the
So,
pod. We love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun. But that'll be probably the last thing for a while. We're going to switch into EP mode. So be on the lookout for big things coming soon.
We got big things dropping soon.
You're gonna leak the demo to one of your friends, and they're gonna tweet it out. Be like, "Man, you're not even ready."
I can't stop showing these songs to people. I gotta like stop.
No, I get it.
It's too
It's okay.
exciting.
We do that with some of our friends here. We're like, leak it, and then they
Yeah.
send it to us, and we're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, okay, here we go. Yeah.
And then we just give it to everyone.
I mean,
It's incredible how.
we're all laid back.
Yeah.
It's just like-
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm so sorry that people have heard the record and they like it.
Right.
Like, how ridiculous. It's like, no, you can't hear it before November. Like, no, it's like people like it. It's fine. And so EP, tour, everything is coming soon.
Yeah.
Pennyboard, band on everything.
Yep.
The TikTok. Go follow. Go put some lines on the empty verses.
Yeah.
And like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, I will say I have a backup TikTok.
Ooh.
You can follow it. I don't use it, but you guys know how the clock app
Yeah,
is. I, like,
it'll ban you sometimes for random. It happened to our friend Maud. She got banned, and she's like, "I have a backup now, but I don't know what's going on here."
right. Yeah, so I was prepared just in case.
That's fair.
Good. If I ever got banned on TikTok, I'd be
we
like,
don't have one,
thanks.
so
No, I have my own,
yeah. I mean, I have my own,
but
too.
that's more for me just to hold my username because I'm like, I don't want somebody
Right.
else having this username, and then they're out here just being like, I'm Brian, I'm doing this.
I just want Pennyboard.
Yeah.
I don't care how much I have to pay for that name. I just want just Pennyboard
Does
on
somebody
everything.
have it?
Does someone have it?
Yeah, and it hasn't been used since it's like an Australian company that like a pennyboard company, like like actual pennyboards, like
Yeah.
but it hasn't been used since like 2015 or
Oh my God.
something like that. I don't know.
It's probably defunct.
No one harass them. On the video, you'll see me wink. Don't harass them. Don't harass
We have
them.
the
Don't
same
harass
thing
them.
with Emo Social Club because we're ex Emo Social Club on TikTok and on Twitter, and both of them are also like inactive posters.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them it's available, but I just decided to keep it all the same. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
You should just okay. Now that you've said that out loud, though, go grab them. just hold on to
Yeah,
them.
just to be safe.
Because now people are gonna go, oh, Pennyboard's available.
Like, let me go grab that.
No, they're not available anymore. So don't
Yeah,
sorry,
don't do it.
Taken.
don't audience. They're not available anymore. Don't even try, you fools. I'm speaking it into existence. Well, yes, we're gonna go watch the show. Pennyboard's gonna rip, and we're gonna see you again soon somewhere.
sure, yeah.
But yeah, thank you again for giving us your time
Thank
here at the
you.
show,
Yeah.
being
You
on
guys
the
are
pod
awesome.
again. Return guest.
And good to meet you in person.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so cool.
it's not a friend over Zoom anymore. Cool.